Hey, folks. Welcome to Irongeek cast number 74, 74 Jailbreak. Because I figured, why not call it after an AC/DC album? How's everybody doing today?
The usual.
Yeah, same.
I am feeling great. It is a wonderful Wednesday. Ow! Just glad to be up, out, and about, and alive, and on this cast. Feel me?
I am doing my best.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Let's rock out.
little bit of a vehicular issue that was not mechanically inclined, but more person inclined, but that is being resolved.
That's what I like to hear. Good news.
Yes.
That's like when my mama tried to teach me to drive, and I didn't realize I shouldn't have my foot on the brake and the gas at the same time.
Oh, there's a challenge.
Yeah, you're one of those people I pass as soon as I can.
Yeah. Seriously, and I can just picture Adrian. This could be me and you riding out in the car, drop top, and just playing Pour Some Sugar on Me, and we just driving through the desert, man. Convenient. Just driving through the desert. Pour some sugar on me, and we just jamming.
Is that Poison that did that song?
Da, 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 da. Hey, and we just vibing with it.
Now you're not gonna go and drive that straight off the cliff, right? Like
No, not off the cliff.
on the road.
Louise in this
On
shit.
the road.
Yeah.
That was Def Leppard, by the way. That was Def
Yeah, that was
Leppard.
Def Leppard, yes. Yeah,
I do like
I would-
the
go ahead.
I do like the 80s hair bands.
Heck yeah.
The 80s, you know what? The 80s hairstyles, period, were just amazing. Like whether you had long hair, the male bun, or whatever else that was going on, or the different color of hair, colored jeans, all this other stuff, we owned it.
The one I remember is the women's bouffant thing, where they put this big boof thing in front of their head and they had so much hairspray on it.
Hey,
Yeah.
greatest time to be alive. That decade, I'll tell you, that decade holds a special place in my heart.
Missed it.
That's okay.
You know,
That's
Charles,
okay.
you could throw a wig on. You could throw a
could.
wig. Yeah.
I could
You could do it.
I could like a Prince wig.
Yes. You should do that.
And go,
I'm trying to picture Charles with Jerry curl now.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. No.
Yes. Yes.
Now that's decade. Now that's I don't miss that decade. I said, what? And the hair stunk. Like it just stinks. It's like, they put the activator in. Jeez.
It's because they soak
No,
it.
it wasn't. It wasn't the activator. It was the moisturizer.
The moisturizer, yeah. Yeah, I was like,
Because
what
the
in the world?
activator was the grease that you rub through your hair, and then the moisturizer, just kind of set it in place.
Okay, Jack, keep talking.
What?
You had a Jerry curl?
This sounds like personal experience.
I know, right? You had a Jerry curl before?
Yeah, I had one in '88.
Okay. Oh, no. Let me tell you something. Oh, no. He said 88. All right. That's when the most dangerous dudes had S curls. You ain't want to mess around 88 with dude S curl.
The curl box.
Yep. And some of the most dangerous people I knew had the S curl box. You ain't want no part of them.
S curl box.
It was real. 88 was the year. I seen a lot of people go down.
I know the Jerry curl. I gotta look up the S curl box.
Man, it's real.
Just make sure it's the hairstyle, not the S curl box itself.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's how we're all doing.
Uh-oh. I'm looking at I'm not gonna say her name. Oh, yep, I'm gonna say it. Sinus Malware just posted something. A reporter was kissed and groped, and she posted a lot of angry faces on Twitter. Interesting. Okay.
Wait, who
I
did?
don't know.
Sue. Her name's Sue. Yeah, she posted that a reporter was kissed and groped during the World Cup broadcast.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Reporter, male or female?
The reporter was a female. The male, oh my God, the male just walked up and grabbed her breast and kissed her on the cheek.
I mean, that's how it goes down sometimes.
Hey, whatever works.
You just gotta, get in there.
Jack.
God
I don't
damn,
know if this
man.
is the correct hairstyle, but I
No, it's not.
I
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's fucking Ricky from the block.
I nearly rolled on the floor because I knew it was so wrong.
Yeah, that's similar to what I was saying.
That's so wrong.
No. I think it would be more like came from Minister Society.
Oh man.
Oh God.
That dude's haircut looks like he took a bunch of ramen and
Bruh, I
painted
thought
it
Jeff-
black and then cooked it halfway and put it on his head.
I thought Samuel L. Jackson had a bad S curl, whatever. Yeah, that was terrible.
No,
That's all right. So what? It still looks. Wig should be proper too. Wig should be proper too.
Kane from Minister Society. Right, so this dude, I don't see what's weird about that haircut. The haircut just looks pretty normal to me.
Yeah, back then. I wouldn't wear that now. Mm-mm. No way. I'm telling you. It's cool being bald in the summertime. I do use a lot of vitamin E to protect myself from the sun. So my head gets glistened with vitamin E. I'm not actually sweating. It is vitamin E.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sure it is.
oh yeah, my head be glistening in the daytime, but I got the vitamin E on it. It's just
Hey, that's what I used to put on the outside of the bowling ball too. Yeah.
There you go.
Vitamin D. Yeah.
Just get all the strikes. I know. That's it. No spares around here.
That's right.
Now, to move on from the hair care portion of the cast.
So let's get on to some show notes. What we got?
Irongeek cast feedback survey. We still got that up from Ricky.
Yes.
Contact me. I'll send him the invite to this cast.
Yes.
Announcement. I was actually interviewed by Adam Morgan about information security and differences between that and development. And his cast is out there. Adam Morgan's like criminally undersubbed in my opinion because he actually puts effort into his videos. Well, either con videos or this weekly cast. But yeah, go out and take a sub him because he's got some good stuff. I stutter a hell of a lot doing his interviews, but yeah, check out Adam Morgan's interview of me.
Okay.
And,
Did we get to see your beautiful mug on it?
no, I think I have the webcam off the entire thing.
Oh, okay. But you know what? It's still great to hear the voice. So we'll definitely be checking that out. Also, too, just want to point out, I got the logo done for Broken Sec. So Broken Sec still working to put up the first episode next couple of weeks.
Cool.
And rocking. Ow.
Cool.
Then we talk about some cool, interesting stuff as well.
As far as cons go, I got B-Sides Cleveland coming up on June 23rd this weekend. Then Con in September. I don't know if I'm going to be out at DEF CON or not.
I'm not.
I won't.
Mm-mm.
Then I got DEFCON 8, October 57th. You said, wait, you all going, Evie, or not?
I'm not. I'm probably not. It comes down to one, if I have a job and if I have the money to fly out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if work's going to send me out there. If I do on my own dime, I'm probably not going because I need to save up money for.
Money is extremely tight with me, and historically, I've had bad luck going to cons trying to get a job.
I'll really probably, for far as like cons are concerned, definitely want to check out GurCon if I can. I'll definitely, of course, be at DerbyCon.
Of course.
Yeah. And that's it for right now. So GurCon and DerbyCon. So that'll probably be the next one. I don't really look at, like, here's the thing, and no disrespect to DEF CON or Black Hat for that matter. It's just for me, it's not, DEF CON is not like it used to be per se. It's more become just a party fest, and I don't know.
It's lost its appeal.
There you go.
It's too big for its own good.
Yeah. So, and that's why I get scared about other conferences getting like that. I hope not.
Unless
the good news is, before I lost my job, I did in fact buy concert tickets to the concert I wanted to go to.
Nice.
So get that going for me.
Sweet.
And it's metal as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna hook up with Stacey Banks at some point in time to go to a bunch of like pirate themed metal bands, right?
Stacy,
Yeah.
the most awesome pirate that I know.
I haven't seen her in about a year in person. I mean, in about a year,
Yeah.
she hasn't been to cons.
No, I think she's just probably been busy, you know.
Last I really talked to Stacy, she got pissed at me because I was awkward as hell, and I was trying to say one thing, and she took it completely wrong, and she got pissed at me.
What did you do?
I could see that.
I was making a comment about how the Chaos Communication Congress had a shit ton of, had a fucking fetish workshop and shit, where I was like, holy shit, you know? And she was talking about how New Year's, where she was extremely raunchy. I was like, you think that's raunchy? You should see what's going on here. And she just got really offended and pissed at me.
Oh.
Yeah, you might want to make amends with her when you see
I tried, but, she still soft blocks me on Twitter last I saw, so yeah.
What's soft blocked? Is that when you mute somebody?
Yeah.
It's when you block someone and then you unblock them so they don't follow you anymore.
Oh, I've done that to a few people. Shit, yeah.
Well, I mean, whenever, hopefully you guys get to see each other in person, just kind of bury the hatchet. I mean,
I tried, but she still soft blocks.
No, I'm saying in person if you ever got the opportunity.
No, I mean in person. I talked to her and then she still soft blocked me after that.
Oh. Well, that's life. So,
Breach
it
report.
is what it is. Yeah.
It is what it is. Nothing I can do about that.
Nope.
All right, let's get into the breach report.
Yeah,
let's do it.
What's going on with BitHum?
Yeah, it's called BitHum. And I actually, if you had the previous article up, it was a Wall Street Journal. At work, it went through perfectly fine, and I could see the entire article. But whenever I just brought it up, it only showed a portion of the article. Log in to Wall Street Journal, pay money. So I found another one through TechCrunch up here now. So we have full article access. But they are a Korean crypto exchange. And reading through the article, apparently they're pretty large, and I've never heard of them. World's top 10 for trading Ether and Bitcoin Cash. So they're apparently fairly large, but they lost. They were hacked. Breach report for about $31 million worth of coin.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's a little bit. So
I'm just saying, if someone's less scrupulous, that Bitcoin exchanges are a good target.
Yes.
There have been a lot of those lately where Bitcoin exchanges have been targeted.
Yeah.
That seems to be
there's
a
another
growing
one
trend.
that they talked about in the article a couple weeks ago called CoinRail, another Korean crypto exchange, lost 40 million. So,
Wow.
I mean, this is
Huge.
large dollar amounts.
Yeah.
I'm personally of the opinion whenever one of these places gets quote unquote hacked or breached, that it's an inside job.
Always blame the husband.
Yeah.
Not the husband.
I'm of the opinion most of the time this is an inside job, and then when it turns out it is, I'm just sort of like, yes, vindication.
Yeah, and honestly, that's kind of how I feel. Like the spotlight should always be on internal employees with these first. I mean, do the full-blown due diligence, because, and two, it could just be crappy development, and they're just leaving back doors all over the place.
It could, but with
I mean, but you got to look at the entire.
I was gonna say, with the history of cryptocurrency, it isn't it mostly, if you look at the history of these breaches in cryptocurrency, it's rarely anyone outside. It's always someone on the inside.
Could be. Yeah. Oftentimes it is. And or somebody on the inside is working with somebody on the outside, and so you have that insider working with the external hacker and opens up a port or opens up a path. So
That too.
all kinds of fun stuff. Lots of speculation. Okay, next up is Health Equity had a data breach of 20,000 user accounts. And apparently, who these people are, they service 3.4 million health savings accounts. And apparently, one of the emails, employees' emails accounts, was accessed by an unauthorized individual. So, yep, they got popped. Let me see what kind of information they were able to gain.
It's in the next paragraph there.
Well, if you got it, read it.
Yeah, so the sorry. So the compromised data included employee names, health equity member IDs, employer names, health equity employer IDs, various types of healthcare accounts, deduction accounts, and social security numbers. Ding, 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 ding. We have PII for some Michigan-based employees. And then there's a couple of security experts that commented below on it. And I really liked this piece of the article here that Aaron Zonder said that apparently they were, I don't know if they were blaming the employees for this, but yeah, he went in immediately to make sure that you're not just blaming employees. You have to make sure that you're actually training them and making them aware of different security risks, especially when it's something like a phishing attack.
Or
like
for that matter, if you're a security employer, make sure you're actually training people rather than just blaming them, because one of the most demoralizing things I've ever been through was working for a company where they would do nothing but blame me and not actually train me.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, that was the last company I was at. They wondered why I wasn't doing so well, and it might be because they were refusing to train me and then attacking me every chance they got.
Yeah. Yeah, bad behavior is trainable, and poor passwords. We've all been in tech for forever.
Yeah.
Poor passwords is not the employee's fault if the employer allows them to create poor passwords. I mean, if you set your password length at 20 characters, 20 A's is going to take me forever to attempt.
Well, no, not really, because you know what you got to do. You got to go to their desk, lift up their keyboard, and there's their password. Not saying that you just gotta find that happy middle ground.
With the password security policy, you just set a simple password security. What is the requirements on that? Because I think even things simple like Spring 2018 pass through that, don't they?
With capital S most of the time, yeah. But it also depends on password length. And then there's also, like with an Active Directory environment, ways that you can have like a word list and specific words to look for. So it takes whatever word is in this word list, hashes it. If an employee types password that the hash now matches, it rejects that password and you have to use another password. So there are precautions and preventative measures that employers on the technical side can make. Not always easy, but it can be done.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying from experience, because there was a system that my soon-to-be former employer uses that requires a 16-character password.
Yeah.
And in order for me to just gain passwords, I would just go to each person, lift up their keyboard, and pull their pass.
Well, you also have the problem of people who enforce password changes every 4 months or whatever, and there's a pattern to it.
Yep.
And once you figure out one of the passwords, it's the same pattern. That goes back to the whole spring 2018, summer 2018 kind of thing.
Yeah, and oftentimes it'll be password 01, password, and the next iteration 02, 03, 04, 05, whatnot. And that's one of the issues we've had with security, especially old days, is we started with passwords. And so that's what people's brains been wrapped around and taught is a password, as opposed to moving on to the more adopted passphrase. Because you can remember, your address with something else at the end. And your address with something else at the end is going to be sufficiently long. But yeah, we really did a discredit to the industry by going with passwords. I mean, just passwords in general are bad, but as opposed to like a multi-factor setup.
I was going to bring up my anal biometrics webpage, but it looks like someone else has started a webpage called Anu Scan that's basically the same fucking thing. I don't know if that's serious or not. Obviously, mine's not, but analbiometrics.com or something. I think analbiometrics. I don't even remember what it is now.
Is this like do you offer services to proctologists?
Yeah, analbiometrics.com was registered in October of 2012.
Yeah.
I was drunk at Skydog Con and we registered it.
And y'all called it anal.
Well, someone was talking about Noah. I can't remember his full name. He's a professor someplace. Was talking about invasive biometrics.
Yeah.
And, I was like, no, he's talking about tongue print scan. I'm like, no, that's not invasive. This is invasive.
Oh my god.
2012 seems like so long ago when we came up with this site, but questions we will work with in developing the hardware software stack. How do you know if your anus has been properly compromised? GUI interface, any leaks?
Yeah.
Can we get financing from Brown University? Can we fill any gaping security holes in the teledildonics with this tech? Can it be interfaced with a Symbian? Are you interested in becoming a backward investor? Potential marketing term, make sure you're protecting your six. Don't be left behind on this latest development in security. But apparently there's some other company, because I came across a new scan incorporated, which is apparently some other company who's trying to, hey, I have original artwork on this. Don't fuck with me.
Yeah, I mean, you had the market.
Wait, copyright 2003. Shit.
Never mind.
Damn it.
No, you didn't.
That's so anal.
But it looks like it's also just a joke website because none of the links actually work. But think about how convenient it would be. You don't have to actually log into your terminal. You just sit down on your chair, and your chair has a probe, and instantly you're recognized and you're logged in. That's convenience.
Well, does the probe retract?
No.
No, enter your password, and you click the button, and then the probe goes forward.
Maybe. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry. I'm down. I'm derailing my own cast.
But for great justice.
Yes, it was done in the name of love.
All right, so take away from that butt passwords the future.
Ass pass.
Ass pass.
That was terrible, man.
I'm gonna need you to verify your ass pass.
I'm gonna need to verify that ass.
Oh, I bet
It just sounds raunchy.
I bet the TSA would be interested in it.
Oh, I bet so too.
I have a story about the one time I've gone through the TSA after I'm done, but after we're done with the show. But let's move on to the next topic.
Okay, next up is Appian Asset Management gave away 650,000 euros. So What they did, this was the result of them being susceptible to an online scam. And they're an asset management company, which means they're similar to investors, stockbrokers, types of folks. So, one of their I don't know if just one or multiple of their clients, they, gave away, what I just say, 650,000 euros. And so they
That's
have
a
been,
lot of euros.
yeah, it's a lot of euros. You could eat all day and be happy. They've been fined with 443,000 euros.
Wow.
But I didn't see that they had to return the euros that were lost.
It's probably insured.
It probably is insured. I mean, so they took a loss, but it honestly wouldn't have been that big of a hit, most likely. And I kind of figured this was going to be GDPR, GDRP, GDPR.
GDPR.
Yeah, GDPR. But I didn't see one mention of GDPR in here. So, yep. They got scammed and lost money.
Wow.
Next up.
So much for that.
Yep. Next up, Dixon's car phone data breach. Have you guys? So some of you may have heard of them. Apparently, these guys are huge in the UK. Have you ever heard of them?
I have.
Okay. I hadn't heard of them, and just reading through the story, I was like, huh. They don't sound all that small. So yes, customers. Let's see. Going through it real quick here again. Dixon's Travel have been their customers have been warned that a huge data breach has occurred involving 5.9 million payment cards and personal data records of 1.2 million individuals. Parent company Dixon Car Phone sent a statement that a review of its internal systems uncovered a security breach at one of the processing systems used by Curry's PC World and Dixon's Travel stores. So, and there was one quote in this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. That was interesting. I'm not seeing it. But the firm admits approximately 105,000 non-EU payment credit card details were not protected with chip and PIN protection, so putting them at greater risk of fraud. Yeah, I'll come back to that if I can find it here in a few minutes. And I'm trying to go through these pretty quick since there were a ton of them. So, next up, we have China. It has been hacking apparently everything. First up is the Chinese cyber espionage group hacked government data center. So Chinese linked espionage unit has hacked a data center belonging to a Central Asian country. And I was going to try to look up the Asian country and didn't have a chance to today. And hacked their data center and embedded malicious code on government sites. And from reading through it, it looked like it. Anytime somebody went to the government site, had malicious code in there and was going and affecting people's systems.
Yeah, it was installing a remote Trojan into the memory and then running it there.
Was it right into disk, any?
Nope.
Oh, that's nice.
I take that back. Leaving minimal traces on disk that could be identified by antivirus solutions.
Okay.
Minimum. Like that. Was also kind of funny. Their command and control server, or their CNC server, was running on a router.
Just nice.
Like, okay, cool. So, kind of a callback to a few weeks ago, we were talking about a bunch of routers that were went in our Watch Out Ukraine segment.
Yeah, that's Darren's favorite subject. VPN filter.
Oh yeah.
Let's not forget VPN filter.
And let's not forget, VPN filter does still exist. It's not dead. Still on 500,000 devices out there of people who apparently don't go and reboot their routers. Oh, and the list did expand on VPN filter. Ubiquity and others were added on, which I may have said last week.
Ubiquity got on there? Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, not nice, but...
Yes, that was unfortunate for some people in my house. Yes. So,
Next up.
China.
More China.
Navy contractor. China hacked a Navy contractor, secured a trove of highly sensitive data on submarine warfare.
Wow, China's on it.
China has been booked. And whenever they say a trove, it was a freaking trove. They took 614 gig of material relating to a closely held project known as Sea Dragon, as well as signals and sensor data, submarine radio room information relating to cryptographic systems, and the Navy Submarine Development Unit's electronic warfare library. I mean, we're not talking like little tiny.
No, that's some big stuff right there.
That's
Yeah.
active countermeasure equipment. Yeah.
Yeah, they got the mother load.
But China's been doing this shit for a while. Wasn't there something like that? Our F-35, which we were going to share with other Western powers, which my understanding is not the greatest jet in the world. Also, China has a very similar jet.
Yeah, they
Okay,
stole the
so-
parts of that.
Several years back, I want to say it was around 2009, 2010, a Lockheed facility in Florida was breached, and someone exfiltrated something like 2 terabytes of information relating to the F-35. And I'm not sure if it was confirmed, but at least at the time, it was believed that was going back to China. However, I think it's the Chinese J-20 jet is the one that everybody says looks like the F-35. There are a lot of, frankly, significant differences between it and the 35. And for one thing, I'm personally not too worried about it because right now China isn't capable of building their own jet engines, so they're buying jet engines from Russia to put in their J-20s. And the Russian model of jet engine repair is don't repair the engines, just let it wear out, and every 20,000 hours put new engines in.
Yeah, just make sure they got a good parachute.
Yeah, pretty much. So basically, China is very limited in its ability to build those J-20 jets, and also it's not clear that their stealth technology is all that up to scratch anyway.
As far as ejecting, isn't there a certain speed at which you just can't eject? I'm not sure. I don't know about
anywhere around Mach 1. Why you gotta slow the fuck down?
I mean, I've heard people who describing ejection as, jumping into getting hit by a baseball bat or worse. As soon as you hit that slipstream, you're in the wind that's going as fast as the airplane is.
I've heard of SR-71 pilots ejecting at Mach 3.
Wait, that's an expensive plane to eject out of.
The only loss of that class of aircraft I know of was the M21. When it was the experiment to launch the D-12 drones off of the SR-71, or D-21 drones, excuse me.
I'm under the impression there were at least 2 lost.
To the wiki machine, but the M21 is the only one I'm aware of.
Let me look, because Blackbird losses on NASA space flight.
I have a quick related question. Does Rolls-Royce or Boeing have any manufacturing in China?
I don't think so.
Oh, so Boeing has some of the 787 Dreamliner line in China, but I don't think it's like their jet engines. I think it's fuselage parts and things like that.
Yeah, even if they did, the jet engines are under ITAR. There's no way in hell they can manufacture there without getting absolutely destroyed by the U.S. government.
Oh yeah, I mean, because essentially manufacturing in China, you have to hand over intellectual information to the Chinese government. So,
according to NASA, 20 SR-71s were lost.
They only built 32, and there's not 12.
I got one in my backyard.
Well, this is NASA.gov. I just linked in the site.
Dude, aerospace stuff, I know we're going off topic here, confusing me a little bit because it seems like our best technology we've put forth that was actually public is still late 60s technology.
There's GPS. That's pretty cool, and that's 1990s.
Okay, you got me there. And it just seems like either
cool looking,
not progressing much, or the shit that we're not told about.
Well, there's the idea of technologies maturing.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's the idea of technologies maturing. So, like, you know, after you get to a certain point, you know, and I know there are some secret projects that you occasionally get little tidbits about like hypersonic drones, or I've been hearing some more chatter about a project that's been nicknamed the SR-72 that's supposed to be like I've heard different things, a Mach 5 or a Mach 10 capable reconnaissance drone to basically do what the SR-71 did, but faster and with no pilots on board, because we don't need those anymore. So there are some, like, basically what we know about on the secret side of things lags by 20 years because that's the standard time period of a classified project. Like, you have to wait until 20 years after it's finished to declassify everything about it.
Yeah.
So we're just now learning about stuff, in the, you know, from the 70s or the 80s or that sort of thing.
And too, like the Harrier or Harriet.
Harrier.
Yeah, with the vertical takeoff. I've always thought that was really sweet.
Yeah.
It's really cool, but it turns out not to have much military application.
Functionality. Yeah. That sucks because it's cool. I'd make that into a transformer.
And arguably the F-35 would be a much better airplane if they didn't try to make the B variant that needed to have the lift fan and the rotating jet nozzle and all like that, because that basically bulks up the cross section of the fuselage and means that it can't follow the aerodynamic area rule. So it gets a lot of drag on itself as a result of that.
Yeah. The VTOL element of the 35 really fucked.
Well, the problem is that if you're building one version VTOL, actually they call it STOVL, I guess, short takeoff and vertical landing, all of the other versions are going to use the same airframe. So they're all now fat too.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess all this goes back to the Marines' institutional memory of being on Guadalcanal in World War II and lacking air support because the Navy aircraft carriers decided to sail away to save themselves. So the Marines have always wanted some kind of aircraft that could operate from, you know, the field or pads, or, you know, they want some way of getting close air support.
I love legacy specifications. Like, there was a great meme, which I don't know was accurate, a while back about why the space shuttle was the size it was because of the size of two horses' asses next to each other and how big they made tunnels through hills on train bridges. Oh, shit, man.
Okay, so I have to say those are nice theories, but those are false. So in the mid 90s, I worked as a contractor for NASA as a data analyst on Hubble Space Telescope. Specifically on I used data from the Goddard High Resolution Spectrometer and the Faint Object Spectrograph instruments that were on Hubble in the early 90s. In fact, as I was working on the data, there was already a servicing mission that had swapped those instruments out, which is probably why they hired me as a contractor, not full time. Anyway, when you're on the inside at NASA, you hear lots of things, especially like when you go out to lunch with people. And the dirty little secret about Hubble Space Telescope is it's basically the same dimensions as a KH-11 spy satellite. Hubble just barely fits into the shuttle bay. The dimensions of the shuttle bay were specified probably by the National Reconnaissance Office so that the space shuttle could be used to launch spy satellites.
Oh.
I somewhat know something about this. My dad was heavily involved with all of that for the past 35-ish years.
Your dad's young.
No. My dad, for one, he's in his 60s now. But yeah, I actually, one of the pictures I have of him is him standing next to the Hubble lens.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
Illustrious may know him.
Yeah, he might.
We've been over this. I don't. There's thousands of people inside of NASA and NRO and all that stuff.
Oh, don't lie. We know you all are in Area 51, and it's really small.
We all know that the truth is out there.
Yes.
anyway, back to the breach report. Something caught my eye. So this was a contractor that was breached, not the actual Navy themselves. And the data that was stolen was stored in a quote unclassified network. So that's kind of an oopsie then.
That's not an oopsie. That's going to be their contract's going to get fucking revoked at the end of this.
And someone's gonna go to jail.
I mean, it wouldn't be too surprising that after this fucking breach that somebody else was brought in to finish that work, and they've been sectioned off.
Yeah, and there is a full investigation by the Navy and FBI to figure out what was going on with this or how the breach occurred.
Probably somebody being lazy. Well, why don't I just put this on our drives and then I have access to it without having to go to whatever facility or log in using my my government laptop.
Yeah.
And then the motherload happens and whoopsie.
So
Yeah,
We'll probably never hear the full reason for another 20 years as to why it happened
Yeah.
or how.
If we ever do, I'll bring it back. Start talking about it again 20 years later. Hey guys,
Hey, it's Irongeek Cast. The year is 2038, and Caprico is here with. Oh wait, something we talked about 20 years ago, and now there's new information.
mental note for 20 for 41-year-old Cappy.
Dude, you say 41-year-old Cappy like you think it's a long time away.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's gonna be like next year.
It doesn't. Time accelerates as you age.
Yep.
It sucks.
I really think that's a psychological process more than anything. That it's basically like as you age, each individual unit of time is a smaller and smaller, like a day or a year is a smaller and smaller fraction of your total life. So as your memory is running continuously, I'm another year older. Well, if you're
play with some transformer in the background.
Who? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, Israel. I see you.
Continue, Mark.
so wait, is my audio okay? I mean, you guys are talking about
Your audio
okay.
is good.
Okay, great. But anyway, I just think that like when you're 10 years old and you age to 11 years old, well, that year was, a little less than 10% of your life. And
time seems to accelerate as you grow older. So
that's what I'm saying is that I think it's a mathematical, it's a response of, we have a continuous running memory, and each year becomes a smaller. As you add years on, each additional year is a smaller and smaller fraction of your total life. So it seems to go by faster and faster. Plus, you get old and jaded.
We do?
Yes, we do. I do.
That's those old jaded Gen Xers like Irongeek and me.
You guys are not old. You guys are better.
We had this discussion. I can't remember who's older, me or you, Mark.
Honestly, I can't remember because we had that discussion while we were drinking.
Yes, and yeah, we were drunk and we were on the top of a tower in Detroit. But yeah, we're about the same age. Yeah, me and Mark are old. Anyway.
Well, here's to being old. Cheers.
It beats the alternative. Cheers.
It beats being dead, yes. That's true.
Exactly. Let's have a toast for the goose. Wow. Oh, man. Next up.
Yeah. Android emulator AndyOS intentionally distributing cryptocurrency miner.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, this was mine. So yeah, I've actually played with AndyOS several years ago when I was doing some Android emulation on my computer, and yeah, I was reading about this. Apparently, the installer is deliberately pulling down a cryptocurrency miner. Don't know which one. The guy called it Bitcoin, but cause that's basically to make sure it's known. But
Right.
it's a GPU based one, but yeah, it's deliberately doing it, and the mods are actively censoring any notification of this. He's been banned from groups for it, so this is pretty much they're either doing it intentionally or they're partnering with someone who's doing it, and they're just turning a blind eye.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Only thing I got to say about that is if they are turning a blind eye, it must mean that they're getting a cut.
Probably.
That's number one for you.
So yeah, that's a shitty thing. Yeah, so it's not just other it's all applications, because apparently it's doing this during the install. It grabs a file from a known location, and yeah.
Trying to remember, because I think I skimmed over it right before we went on air. And I think it was something that was it the installer? Because I thought it was something that wasn't in the installer, and it just
well, it's something that grabs it from a right, grabbed it during the install and pull it up here and look at it. Yeah, there's something on the install where it serves the file up and it grabs it like during the install. So someone was even asking like, "Hey, when you uninstall it, what happens? Does it also go away or does it stay around?"
Yeah, I found it. So, and I found the thing. So, by the looks of things, the installer isn't at fault. AndyOS, so the emulator itself, calls an IP, which then transfers the Bitcoin miner to your system. So it's not the installer, but the actual application itself.
Right. Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, which I have the article pulled up as well.
So yeah, we don't know if that's deliberate, like it's intentionally doing that, or if it's doing that and it used to belong to them and it got changed to someone else, and now someone's doing, oh hey, I have control of this IP, so I'm going to do some malicious with it. But the fact that they're censoring it says a lot of, hey, yeah, you're doing something bad, because the guy's got tons of evidence to show that you're doing it right here, and they're just censoring everything that shows it.
If I can open up that video real quick. Although it's going to be potato because everyone's studying. Oh, there we go.
Or potato.
Potato, whatever. Let's see if I can get through here. Oh, cool. He even opens it up in VirusTotal.
Yeah. Well, it's a legitimate application because it's a Bitcoin miner or some kind of cryptocurrency miner, which is not inherently malicious.
Correct.
But people use it for malicious purposes, so yeah.
Have you guys been starting to see more websites you go to that are kind of like freebie types of sites, but throw up the, hey, can we utilize some of your CPU video types of stuff? Some of the energy from your computer while you browse our site?
I've seen those that actually will actively mine your using your CPU while you're on the page. They use like a webhook to do it. But nothing that says, hey, well, and usually when that's done, it's done like without you knowing about it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I've actually seen a couple that display a message like allow, disallow. So I've been surprised. Like, I'm not really cool with it, but I'm okay with a site who does it if they give you an option to do it or not to do it.
Yeah, that's okay. But they are the far minority of those cases, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say they never actually ask you.
I have so many mixed feelings about advertisements and revenue via websites, and damn.
Well, I mean that's kind of
nice to monetize views of your site,
yeah.
because then I could retire, and that's
Yeah.
why. As a purely self-interested motive. Yeah.
Yeah, well, running a website does take money because you have to pay for hosting, pay for bandwidth, pay for power, all that shit. But at the same time, if you show advertising, yeah, you are making money, but we have seen over and over again that advertising can be a very prestigious way to deliver malware with a compromised ad network. And that's also why I gave Troy Hunt tons of shit, because he was going, "Oh, your ad blocker is blocking me." Like, no, motherfucker, this is something. If you're a security professional, you should fucking know this. Sit down and shut up.
Hey, Troy Hunt, is he the one that's what WVA Alpha Soldier
I don't know.
on Twitter?
Troy Hunt's the one who has, yeah, what did you say, Darren?
Oh, he's Have I Been Pwned? He runs that website.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still think it's read yes at this point.
All right, Evie, go ahead.
I was just saying that I think for Have I Been Pwned, it should just be a static site that in big red letters just says yes.
Yes.
And that's all it is. It's a static website now. The answer is yes, you have been. But yeah, the most I will ever do in regards to like trying to monetize my website is just put a link to my Patreon on it, and hope someone.
I've had one guy subscribe to my Patreon, and I haven't used it, and I'd doll up a video if I did or something.
Like
I'm bad doing it, man. Woman, shit, you know what I mean.
Yes, I know.
I feel bad monetizing my volunteer work, but at the same time, it's the main thing I'm known for, and it's been suggested for me to make my volunteer work be my full-time job, but I don't know how to actually do that, and it's a difficult thing for me.
There's also a cost to, monetizing your volunteer work. And monetizing your personal projects. Like, sure, I will, post about what I do on and how I got to the conclusions I came to about a thing on my Patreon. But I also don't expect anyone to ever click on it or, do the thing. It's more or less just, my internet busking cup is how I refer to it. It's like my Ko-fi, it's like everything else. It's just an internet busking cup.
And I've pretty much used YouTube as that, and I've gotten some money from time to time.
Except that Google is always messing with YouTube monetization.
Don't get me started on that. That's a rant for another day.
Yeah, YouTube is not necessarily YouTube's watch speed. I'm curious. Like, if I'm a part of YouTube Red. I've watched someone's videos that's been demonetized. In theory, do they still get money from me? Because I'm watching their video. I'm choosing to watch their video. I don't care about the political stance they're taking because I'm obviously watching their video.
Right.
They still get money from me.
From what I understand, YouTube does not give them money for that, though.
Oh, no. Well, who does?
Isn't YouTube Red or like the YouTube Red shows? Aren't those supposed to be like the Netflix produced shows? Like they own that content. Or like YouTube owns that.
That
content.
is an aspect of YouTube Red, but also if you're part of YouTube Red, my understanding was part of your money that you spent on going to YouTube is going to go to whoever you watch. And also, you don't have to watch ads anymore.
Yeah, that's what I understood.
Well, you also have people like me that have YouTube Red, but the reason I have YouTube Red is because I have Google Play Music. Like I never asked for YouTube Red.
So by purchasing Google Play Music, did they automatically throw in YouTube Red then?
Yes.
Oh.
Wow.
Didn't know that.
It's actually a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad deal.
I used to have Google Play Music, and they would actually, they would give out like free songs every month or so, and it would be like you. Granted, it was oh crap, what was it called? It was metal of the month, or whatever. So it was the newest release. It was like the most popular metal releases of the month, and that's actually how I got into a lot of the bands that I listen to now.
That was in like 2015 when you were, what, 12?
Shut up. It was like 20. Crap. When did I have my crappy droid that every time that I would put in my pocket, it would like light my leg on fire?
Droid.
Droid. I want to say like 20. It was in high school. So 20. Yeah, about 2013 to 2014. About then.
Nice. Oh, speaking of phones, I don't think I've said on here. I got the OnePlus 6, and honestly, I freaking love this thing. It is stupid fast. I would not use facial recognition, and I don't use the fingerprint scanner either. I use other means, but because both of those can be compromised. I think their facial recognition can be compromised just with a picture in front of it. So if you do get one or have one, don't use the facial. And I'm pretty sure there's a bypass for fingerprint.
I'm going to hold on to my Pixel 1 until it dies.
I got a Pixel 2 that I already cracked. Spent $1,000 on it earlier this year. I'm like,
wow. I mean, I'm happy with my Pixel 2, but I mean, I didn't get the XL model.
I still got a 6P.
Yeah.
My 6P, I liked it until its battery fucking started dying.
Guys, I had to RMA 3 6Ps. Not 1, not 2, 3.
Yeah, 6P was a nice phone until its battery started dying on the console.
I had the boot loop issue. I had the it just wouldn't turn on issue. And one time the backwards facing mic died and I couldn't use the phone as a fucking phone.
That's crazy.
Nice.
I'm not kidding. Like, I had to RMA 3 of these.
Yeah, I really, really want to root this thing, but I'm holding off for now.
Get another one and then root it.
Yeah.
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 I still need a primary device, but man, I want to root it.
Interesting that you brought up facial recognition.
Yeah. Even he knows facial recognition is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Say hey. Hey, Simone.
Hey, Simone.
Hey, Simone, we love you.
They love you too.
Yeah, she can't hear us, can she?
No.
That would be a bad plan.
No. That's why I got the headphones on. So
yeah.
Just in case something crazy come out.
Like, I'm gonna. But I was my coworker has a iPhone 10 or X or whatever the hell you want to call it. And he was showing it off to one of my other coworkers, and he was like, "Yeah, it's like, watch, I can have facial recognition." So he like showed it to my coworker's face, and then he showed it to his face, and then it unlocked. So me being me, I took it immediately after he set it down, put it right in front of his face, unlocked the phone, and ran off with it.
Nice.
He just looked at me run out the door, and he was like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because I hacked you." Granted, not the most elegant way to do it, but everyone got a good laugh out of it.
Hey, that's your phone now.
That's right.
My phone.
Yeah. You'll update that facial recognition.
I should just added a passcode to it.
Heck yeah. And for anybody listening, one of the main reasons you don't want to do fingerprint, facial recognition, or any other biometrics they come up with in the future from a law enforcement perspective, that is something you are, not something you know. And so that does not require a warrant or a judge's order for you to give up that information. Without a warrant, without a judge's order, they can scan your face and unlock your phone. They can put your fingerprint on there and open it up. The only thing that potentially saves you is a passphrase, passcode of some kind, because that's something you know.
Yeah.
There's my public service announcement for the night.
Yes, and I believe that was actually held up in court. I believe it was a case about TrueCrypt, and the FBI had the computer so long that they couldn't crack the encryption.
Yeah.
That the judge tried to order the guy to give up the password, but it had been so fucking long he forgot it.
Yeah.
Or so he claimed.
Yeah, and he could have very well forgot it. I mean, I forget crap all the time. And whoops, forgot it.
I just can't remember in this stressful environment of the interrogation room and the holding cell.
I know.
I can't forget in the situation where if I say anything or give you guys access to my machine, that I will lose this court battle.
Or just use the phrase that I was taught to memorize in my concealed pistol license course. Officer, I'm willing to cooperate, but I will not make a statement until my attorney is present.
That's right.
You're not my supervisor.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
Next.
Yeah, next.
Yeah, I was about to say. Ubico, poor disclosure methods and crediting.
Yeah, this one's also mine. So basically, a company found a exploit in WebUSB, which is a way for FIDO tokens to pass information between the browser and the hardware token using UTF or FIDO keys, and that way a fake page could actually access the key and still pull the second factor auth out. So they similarly patched it and notified Ubico of this before Chrome patched it, actually. And Ubico, basically, they gave a talk on it, and Ubico said, "Hey, we want to talk to you about that." They talked about it, and then Ubico put the bug bounty into Google and got the reward for it, which they donated to a helping like kids code or something like that. And they didn't credit the actual original finders of it. Basically, Ubico first said, "Oh, we're working in parallel." You confirmed our findings, which no, that's bullshit. So they first updated it like a few days ago, I think on Monday or last Friday or something like that, saying, "Yeah, we had some third-party help." And then after a bunch of this got reported around yesterday, they actually finally updated like this morning with giving proper credit to the developers, actually by name. So it's a case of, yeah, you guys fucked up. It sounds like they want to extend an olive branch to amend the issue, because if they can't be trusted to actually be honest with security disclosure, that's going to destroy their business. and it sounds like they're trying to extend it all in branch. It sounds like they may have just screwed up internally. So just something to watch out for, and also be aware of making sure your bug bounty programs are in proper order so that the proper credit goes out to those who deserve it.
Nice. And just to verify, Yubico, they are the parent company who make YubiKeys, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thought so. Be really funky if somebody else had YubiKeys and they were Yubico.
No, totally different.
Same thing.
That's it.
RSA does not make RSA keys. What?
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, that's true. I mean, they just give private keys out, right?
Nah.
But I'm tisk.
Okay. Who's next?
Yeah, this one's also mine for 6. Basically, there is an exploit which is called zero font, where you set text as size 0 font in between words or letters to fool various anti-phishing, anti-spoofing techniques. Basically, going, hey, this is a Microsoft corporation, Microsoft WTF corporation, which looks very different according to an automated system, but O365 scanning mechanism used basically it just looked for text. It ignored styling. So it just saw, it would see, instead of seeing Microsoft Corporation, it would see Microsoft WTF Corporation, whereas a user would not see that because it's size 0 font. So they actually got binged by that. So yeah.
Now was this this is just in like HTML, right?
Yeah, basically HTML code would show a size 0 font. So
yeah.
From an automated scanner, which doesn't see that, it just goes, oh, okay, this is not, attempt to phish, let it through.
Yeah.
I
was. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, and I was about to say, this is why you need both automated and manual testing.
Mm-hmm. Or as I like to say, DevOps is shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I do agree with that. But at what scale?
Yeah.
Whenever you're talking about spam and phishing, like, how are you going to scale the manpower whenever a company gets, a medium-sized company gets 1 million emails a month?
Yeah.
Good question.
Not happening.
Hey.
That's not happening. The only way now, and I work for a rather large org, is that users forward the email to a certain team, and they look at it and say, "Yeah, this is definitely a fucking fish."
Yeah.
Which is always good.
Yo. Back.
Sorry, my mic was muted. And it's good to have the user intervention like that. But because I've worked in this realm, there's situations where there will be 3,000 employees and, they're computer-based users, and there's one security person. And, 3,000 employees, you're going to have 200-300 fishes coming probably per day.
Yeah.
That make it through preventative filters, and even 1-2 employees, that plus everything else that they're supposed to do, you're just not going to see that. I mean, I like the idea, love it, but it takes a lot of dollars to be able to do it.
I have a quick question. It's not quick. Can anyone give a brief overview of how automated email filtering and phishing prevention software works? Because to me, looking at this, since I don't know exactly how it works right now, it just seems like it's looking at text or like viewable text. Wouldn't it be better to look at the individual packet itself.
Website links and everything else.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
just the packets itself, just translate it that way. But
Well, this would be something you would tie in, like, for example, with spam filters. You've got, Bayesian rules, which says, oh, like all this, formatting, this looks kind of fucky. Give it a higher, give it a higher score because there's something screwy going on here. Like if you see a lot of caps in the subject line, Bayesian rule this, or you see, the word Viagra there, Bayesian rule this score. So that kind of shit.
Hey, wait
Whoa,
a
yeah,
second, though.
what's wrong with Viagra?
My
Well,
pharmacy sends me Viagra
that's-
emails all the time.
That's a popular one. That's one of the big popular Bayesian rules. All right.
What about Insight? Come on.
Yeah.
Dude, Smile and Bob.
I know, Israel. You're kind of old. You need it, but I don't. So we'll talk about your problems later on. Okay.
Save it for after
I'd
the cast.
appreciate that.
But no,
Talk
but
about
seriously,
ED.
this is kind of the stuff you could do where you just do basically rule-based lookups where you see various things like that and go, oh, hey, this looks kind of fucky. Maybe flag it for review for have someone in your security operations department look at it and go, okay, yeah, it's good, release it, or no, this is fucky, delete it.
Yeah. And from the spam-based perspective, Bayesian rules and word lookups are honestly fairly effective with spam because spam's not looking necessarily to be malicious. Now, we know all phishing is spam, but not all spam is phishing. All wiggles are whips, but not all whips are wiggles. So, if anybody ever did IQ tests and all that.
Hey, wait, you talking about whips and chains, huh?
No.
No, Owie. No, Owie.
That's
Owie,
post-cast.
just
Owie.
time for that.
Yeah,
Owie,
later.
go to your corner.
Down, Owie.
How you are grounded.
You
Well-
are grounded.
No, Owie
But-
is far from grounded.
My use of the Bayesian rule is just an example. It's not like a direct correlation here. I'm just saying, look for similar patterns. I mean that kind of thing where you see various text blended like that, or a lot of formatting does look kind of suspicious.
Yeah. And not disagreeing with that at all. From a spam perspective, it works great. From a phishing perspective, it won't do anything. Because fishes come in looking like an everyday email. They specifically do things, and word they're for. And honestly, a lot of fishes are just plain stupid, absurd.
Oh yeah.
Poor spelling, poor grammar.
Whoa! They're actually getting better at that.
No, and I agree, they are getting better. But I'm still saying a lot.
Better, but they still bet on someone clicking that, very obvious link.
Yeah.
Yes, which is where the user training comes in. But also from a technical side, there are vendors now who, and I won't name drops, but I mean, there's a couple large ones in the space that are now offering a web-based to detonate it. Ta-da! Word am I looking for?
Web-based application?
No, where they detonate the application.
Sandbox.
Yes, yeah. So they offer web-based sandboxes. So attachments are coming in, URLs are coming in. So not only are they, they're scanning and seeing the URL, they're comparing that against URL lists and whatnot to see if that URL is a known bad actor. It's known to do phishing campaigns in the past. And they're correlating a lot of this information together. If a Word document's coming in and it seems suspicious, they throw it out into the sandbox, detonate it. If it does something, they block it from being sent to Exchange or whatever your email service is. If it's benign and fine, they allow it to go on through. So from a technical perspective, there's a lot of improvements that have been made primarily in the last 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
But we still have stuff that does make it through even with those technical advancements, and that's where then the training comes in.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with no training. That's obviously very important. That's why you run your own phishing campaigns. And I've seen a lot of those. And a lot of them, like, really, people fall for this shit, but okay.
Yeah.
I know it's needed. So.
Yeah.
Hey, you've won $30 million in the PayPal contest.
Oh, I'm from Russia. I want to marry you. Yeah, no, fuck off.
Hey,
I've
hey,
never
Grandma, why are
met
you sending
anyone.
me-
I never met anyone who's so attractive in my life, and I was just wondering, I got the deal of a lifetime for you. Here's what you do: you Western Union me some money, and I will wire into your account $1 million.
Well, I mean, it is true. I am that attractive, so okay.
Ooh.
I mean, I
The-
kind of am.
There's a
Evie, you're very attractive, and you know it.
God damn it, Owie.
Know how we know.
stay.
Yeah, no, Owie, no.
The first fish that I ever saw was actually from my grandmother.
What?
It yeah,
From
it was
or
weird.
to?
It was to my grandmother.
Oh, okay.
And then it got sent out. This was like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And it got
To
sent.
some of us, 10 years is not that much.
I know.
Let's give you an idea.
Okay, but yeah, like
We're
I was
older than 17. So just go ahead.
anyway, barring how old we all are on the podcast, the email was this Viagra thing, and she sent it directly to my email, and I look at it, and I'm like, what the hell, man? So I show it to my parents, and I'm like, what is this? Why is Grandma sending me this? And then they call her up, and she's like, yeah, someone got access to my email server and has been sending everyone Viagra spam.
That's awesome.
And I just started laughing. And that was like the farthest thing that my grandmother would ever like,
What?
say.
Was your grandpa aware?
Oh yeah,
Maybe grandpa was doing it,
no,
making some side change.
maybe I don't know.
Aww.
Start with your
Man, you put an image in my head.
Guys,
what?
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay, random.
What just happened?
I don't know.
Purple.
Hank.
People eaters.
One
Magenta.
eye, one horn, flying purple people leaders.
Magenta.
Ooh, magenta.
Next topic.
Yeah.
All right.
I believe this is a Adrian topic.
Yes,
Oh, what-
MacBooks getting more fragile. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I spilled a little bit of meat on a laptop late 2016. And I don't remember having near this problem with previous MacBooks that I've owned. I mean,
So
I think
you
I had-
spilled meat on a lot of MacBooks. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. Now that
it's okay. I have two. It's okay.
I've got it into repair, but that's going to cost a whole lot. But I was talking to some other people on Facebook. Like Mark Robinson was telling me that he had similar problems with like anything getting on a MacBook's keyboard.
Yeah.
And they keep trying to make them thinner and lighter and so forth. And you know what? It's always so thin and light I want my MacBook to be. I'd rather go back to having the slightly thicker MacBook and still have full Ethernet ports.
And see, Adrian,
Oh yeah.
that's why you're an attractive man. Because
seriously.
you cannot get too thin and too, or there's a level of thin and light.
So
That's
the old saying is you can't be too rich or too thin, and I think
No,
Yes.
here's what I'm saying. You need a little thickness in your life.
Yeah.
thank you, Charles.
That's all I'm saying.
Just enough for an Argent 40.
Let's not fight it here. You need a little thickness in your life. You get so thin, you get down to the bone, and that's just rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the next thing you know, you're having you need a USB-C hub, and so you can plug in all the shits.
Exactly.
You can plug in HDMI and
They got us back to walking around with fanny packs.
Yeah,
Hey,
I have
that's a
Full of
thing.
dongles.
That's a thing again, dude. That fanny packs are a thing here in Europe again. It is.
That's
Oh my god.
It is
No.
really weird.
I am glad. I am glad I am not there.
No.
Yes, you see, like every Like every person that if you were to look at them and categorize them as kind of a douchey character, has a fanny pack.
Dear
Especially when they
Lord,
go-
no.
Popping clips and just taking off with them shits. Catch it if you can.
I really should start messing with them.
Well, as Adrian well knows at this point, my outdoor survival kit is packed in a military surplus fanny pack.
I'm okay with
Bitter.
I'm okay with that. It has a specific use case, but when they're just toting it around or going out with fanny packs, I'm really confused. Like,
Yeah.
So
me
are
too.
backpacks out of style in Europe, or like shoulder bags?
I have no.
What about men purse?
Haven't seen one of those yet.
Really?
I don't know.
Because usually they call them the European man bags. So.
If I were to go west a little bit into like France, probably.
Open toe sneakers for men.
See, I always figured that basically any place where public transit is going to be the major mode of transportation, you're going to see more and more people with bags of various sorts. Because
I like I'm with Joe Rogan on this. Fanny packs are fucking convenient.
Nope.
You know what? Nope. I'm sorry.
To full disclosure, I have no opinion on it. People are going to do what they want to do, regardless of my opinion. So,
I knew somebody that had a fanny pack, and this was 2012, and I roasted the fuck out of him. But then later on, I discovered that he also had a tramp stamp, so I really just.
So he's been making a lot of questionable fashion choices, is what you're saying.
Yes.
He wanted to roast you after that.
Yeah, he wanted to fight me, but he wound up quitting because everybody else just kind of piled on too.
Ooh. Brutal.
Really brutal.
that's like
Now that's brutal. But
That's a
pile on. Everybody get But yeah, you know what? You know what?
No.
It's just no. Okay.
I don't know what.
You know who?
You know who? You know what? You know that.
Who's on second?
No. To go back to the MacBooks getting
Yeah, that's what I was about to.
getting easier to break. I think after the 2011 model of the MacBook Pro, they started trying to make them thinner and thinner, and the way that they did that design-wise was they were putting the keyboard straight onto the motherboard itself.
Yeah,
So
because my current MacBook, it's going to take about $1,604 to repair because they pretty much have to replace the entire thing.
Yeah, because you literally have to take out the entire motherboard and keyboard for it to be there.
All right, this cosplayer, she has great Betty Boop appeal, does she not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
Yes,
that
yeah.
painted?
Yeah.
I like how
Wait,
you
I-
immediately was like, "Yep."
Yeah, I thought it was animated.
No.
Mm-mm.
The,
That is real.
the cosplay.
Really?
I'm not going to apologize for being me, friends.
No. I just love how it was just like the quickest answer. So
I mean, that same lady looks like she could play a great Betty Boop.
Could you show that again?
Hold on a second.
I was in game, damn it. I'm trying to see it.
I don't see this
She's
going.
doing a cosplay of Wonder Woman who's punching Deadpool for being like a perv or something. She looks like she could do a great Betty Boop.
Hey, it's
Yeah.
Howie podcast.
Yes, Howie and Deadpool for the sake of this conversation.
Howie is on one tonight.
Yeah, that's definitely Owie.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, that lady looks like she could play Betty Boop really well.
We love you, Howie. Don't
Wait a second. Was she only wearing body paint?
Probably a-
body paint.
No, it's leather because if you look at the bottom, you can see it, kind of fan out.
Okay.
And there you go.
Attention to detail.
Indeed.
Everyone now knows where everyone was looking.
Hey, I'm gonna take it back even further. Difficulty rating.
Yes, and unfortunately, I'm probably going to be in trouble for this. I'm waiting for the text in 3, 2.
You didn't do anything.
And Charles drops from the stream.
I might drop for a bit to go and walk up to the store real quick.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where you going to Flanagan's?
No. I actually wish. If I had a car, I would totally drive up to Flanagan's. Flanagan's is, if you don't know, like the best place in South Florida.
Mm-hmm. We know. We heard about it for an hour last week.
I wasn't here last week. Help me out.
Oh, that's true.
Thank you. Don't be depriving people.
So is Flanagan's an Irish pub?
Yes. They're basically like a Florida version of like, I don't know, Fridays or something.
So do they have TVs everywhere?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, I may go there then.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you'd like it.
If anybody here ever makes it up to the Detroit area, I'll take you to the Gaelic League in Corktown.
I'll wear the body armor.
I will.
Oh, you don't have to worry too much in Corktown. It's more like, I don't know. Well, these days it's more like far west side, but in the old days it was the lower east side, and we'd be nowhere near that.
That's
I
what
would
I've never been. I've never
take
been to
everyone to Brogues down here, which is very much a more Australian and Irish pub.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I'll be right back.
I'm going to vote that one as like most likely to get into a fight.
Yeah.
You got the Irish and the Aussies together. There's just going to be some fisticuffs.
Yeah.
That's one place I've never been to is Detroit. I've never been to Detroit.
Y'all would have fun down here.
Oh, believe me, I have reasons for going to Florida. It's on the list.
Anyway,
Yes,
I will
white sand
be right
water.
back.
Well, how is Detroit? Is it?
Well, as a longtime old school Detroiter, I would say it's better. I often recommend. Now, granted, you all have me as a guide if you want it, but I recommend going with a local guide because otherwise, if you're from out of town, you can get yourselves into interesting experiences.
The times I've been for besides Detroit and Converge, and I don't think it's that. The parts I've been in have not been that bad.
No, it's these days it's mostly run down as long as you avoid the areas where drug gangs are actively having gang wars. And those are like I could tell you where those are, but it wouldn't mean anything to you guys.
So does 8 Mile really look like that?
8 Mile is actually the northern boundary of Detroit. And I would say overall it's starting to get a lot better.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Than it was like even 10 years ago.
Wow.
These days, like I was saying, these days, from what I can tell in the local news, the hot spots are the far west side over by like, in terms of roads, it'd be like by Telegraph and
Navarre.
I don't know, 7 Mile, 6 Mile Fenkel area. That's the far west side or 5 Points area. There's some place up Gratiot that's between like 6 Mile and 7 Mile that like the FBI has been in there because it's a freaking war zone with apparently the Bloods tried to move in and, you know, over, I forget how many murders have happened in the last 10 years in that particular block, but place I would avoid.
And the Bloods still, like, I haven't heard of the Bloods and Crip in 10, 15 years.
Yeah, and that's what's weird is like they're not historically as a gang, they weren't one of the ones involved in Detroit. Historically, it's been like the Latin Counts or Latin Kings and the Cobras and a couple others. So I was like, oh, the Bloods are moving in. This is not going to be good.
Wow. I didn't even know they still existed.
Yeah, I didn't either until I was reading a.
Huh?
Of course they still exist. You think it just goes away? Fuck no.
What you think? I sold them all?
Louisville area. I don't even know where the Louisville area bad areas are.
But you know what's here we go again with my rose-colored glasses. Yeah. Yeah. I really I need to get out more.
That's how Charles is able to stay so positive all the time.
I stay in my positive bubble.
So that's the secret. We need to buy rose-colored glasses.
You know what the secret is? Like in my world, the clouds have smiles on them, like Super Mario Brothers.
So you're taking LSD?
Hey, he said he didn't use energy drinks. He never said he did not use LSD.
I don't use no LSD. I don't use anything. It's just like the clouds have smiles. The sun actually has sunglasses. Unicorns are real. And
I love you, Charles. You're like a walking Zoloft commercial.
Instead of Zoloft, we prescribe you with Time with Charles.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful whatever.
I've been on Zoloft. Charles is much more upbeat. Charles raises my happiness level much greater than Zoloft did because I've been on Zoloft. Charles is definitely more effective than Zoloft.
Yeah,
that is.
Yeah, I just try to keep this thing fun, man. It
Now I'm just wondering what that service would look like. Like you would order it, and Charles would burst through the door, and it's like, "Happy wonderful whatever day of the week it is." Runs over, gives you a hug. What are we gonna do today? I'm so ready for the day. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, man. Because tomorrow's Thrilling Thursday. I got names for every day of the week.
Funky Friday.
No. Here's how it goes. It's Magnificent Monday, and if you're into Starbucks, it's Macchiato Monday. Terrific Tuesday, Wonderful Wednesdays, which we are on. Then you have Thrilling Thursdays, and you have Fantastic Fridays. Now, if you're a Starbucks guy again or gal, then it's Frap Friday, Frappuccino Friday.
Oh.
Yeah. Then you got Sensational Saturday. What? And you got Super Sunday. Boom.
It's not splendiferous Sunday.
Nah, splendor. Could be. It depends on how you're feeling. But I always say super because Sundays is one of those. Sundays are like the morning afters. I call that the morning after day. The morning after anything that you did Saturday night, and you wake up the next morning and the wind's blowing and that slow song is playing in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Like by Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time. So
nice.
Yeah. these are things to look out for. But I mean that's the gist of my weekdays in the world. That's actually written on the board at one of our remote offices. Of course, I came in and the middle finger was pointing to it, and I want to figure out who drew that. But yeah, that happened on. Yes.
I love you, man, but I can see how your cheerful demeanor might get annoying to some people on a Monday morning.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm that guy. I'm that guy who's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, no, I kid you not. And this one I was working at Northrop Grumman, and this one I learned to tone it down. But like when I was working at Northrop Grumman, and I came into work one morning, I was like, all right. Monday morning, Magnificent Monday, yeah. And next thing you know, I sat down on my desk, got my coffee, and I got an email. Charles, and it was like to my Gmail. Charles, we cannot have this shit in the morning.
Yes, I am that guy.
Like I was like, oh my God, and look. They did it. Whoever did it, it was funny because they did it from an anonymous email. So Charles,
I'm gonna whoop your ass at gmail.com.
No, I forgot what the email was, but it was like, so Charles, we cannot have this shit in the morning. Every fucking morning, your ass is up here like you're on drugs, If it's the drugs, get off of them now. Sincerely, management.
Did you reply and say, I am not on any kind of drugs whatsoever?
Hell yeah, I replied. I said, I'm not on anything. I'm just happy. And then, so I thought it went away. Then I replied back, well, keep that happiness to yourself. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't know who said that in office. To this day. But I know it was somebody because it was describing shit I was doing. So that in the morning, I just wait for them to talk to me. So I won't get in trouble. That was my experience at Norfolk Grumman, so I won't get in trouble.
Was just waiting in his cubicle, like shaking. He was like, I got so much energy. I gotta tell someone how happy I am today. Some random like tech runs up to him and is like, hey Charles, have you reviewed this? Good morning, what a beautiful Wednesday. Just like screaming in his face, anime style.
I didn't know. I know, right? I didn't know they was gonna look. I didn't know they was gonna be looking for me after work. I said, leave them alone. Somebody, whoever sent that meant business. They took all that time to send it from an anonymous email. It meant business. So every day it's here.
And see, that's an educational experience. Now you know in the future, once I send you the email, then you fish the crap out of them.
Jackson, I'm that guy. Jackson, yeah, I'm that guy.
All right, we should move on to the next topic.
Yeah, we do still have topics.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, best solutions for residential cable modems and wireless routers.
Okay, this one's mine because I've been out of the game on this end of things for a while, and a friend of mine, her all-in-one wireless cable modem router switch thing that Xfinity gave her is dying. Mm-hmm. So she's asking me to look for a new solution, and I went to Best Buy and basically said, "Holy crap! Everything's home automation now." Like it's like, "Oh, you can buy this stuff from Google," and I'm like, "That's a good idea. I want freaking Google inside the house." Like, why don't we connect an Alexa for like all the spyware?
Yes.
So I'm wondering what's out there. Like what they really need is like a DOCSIS. I think it's DOCSIS 3 is the current standard 3.0, like 16 by 8 channel cable modem, and wireless router that has say 4 gigabit Ethernet switch ports and 802.11 BGN. That's really what they need.
Okay.
And I can't find simple stuff like that online or in the stores anymore.
What was that? DOCSIS 3.1?
No, not for Xfinity, because you're gonna have to. Frankly, you're just gonna have to go through them to get the basic package.
Well, I know that they have to. She has to have service from Xfinity.
No. I'm just saying for the modem part interface.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to go through them. Even though legally they are supposed to support, whatever fucking modem you bring them, they just won't fucking do it.
Really?
They're fucking dicks about it. They're fucking dicks about it. And then what you do is you would roll your own solution as far as that goes. So for example, mine, and I'll fucking give it out there. I use fucking Smoothwall. So I have my cable. I have my cable modem. And then it hits my smooth box, which then runs to my main circuit, which is a 16-port Cisco switch.
Nice.
Okay. So even if I'm like in the store or on Amazon and it says this modem is approved by Xfinity, they're still going to give me crap about that?
They might. Like I said, it's been a couple years since I used Xfinity, and they were fucking assholes about it. They did not want to support the modem that I had, even though it was approved by them, quote unquote.
Okay.
I think best thing that you could probably do if Xfinity is going to be kind of shitty about this is just get a single. Have your friend get a single modem from them, and then have them get their own router that they can hook up the singular, the standalone modem to.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking of.
And yeah, like how big is the space? And well, you said four Ethernet ports and 802.11b BGN.
I said, yeah. So I would guess it's. I don't know. It's a pretty large house. It's like 2,000 square feet, maybe 2,500 square feet, and the wireless needs to go from one end of that to the other because all the utilities are on one end of the house. And the way it's built, whoever built this house, I was looking at the joists. They all run the width of the house, not the length. So I would have to literally drill through every single joist, which has been installed like every 12 inches. To run an Ethernet cable anywhere the length of the house.
You could always do the Ethernet through the electrical.
PoE?
No, I know what he's talking about. It's basically EOP.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the other thing.
I did that at my previous job in a place that was a little bit bigger than a gymnasium. And even with the lengths of the runs, it still worked perfect. And I don't remember which one we used. It may have been TrendNet or something like that. I mean, but I could take one of the little adapters and plug it in freaking anywhere and be able to have internet out. So that could be an option, especially in a house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe since it's a house of that size, probably having a central one that connects to the modem, and then having another access point on the other side.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of why I wanted to stick to like plain old BGN, because they already have an access point that extends the network. So if I can buy something that's compatible with this older thing that still works, that would save money.
And another consideration, are they drywall or plaster?
Oh, that I don't know.
If they're drywall, you'll get the signal through fine. Plaster, it will be shit. Plaster cuts it down just like concrete.
Yeah.
So that could be another consideration.
I will have to look. I think I'm looking here. I think it might be drywall.
Yeah, that'd be fine then.
Most likely drywall.
See, my house is 200 years old, and I don't have the convenience of drywall. So
wait, what?
Oh yeah,
that's what that. Right as you said 200 years, I look behind you and I'm like, wait.
Hey, look, there's a fan.
No, the other thing behind you. I'm like, wait, that's a very large. The black thing.
Oh, that's actually only probably 15 years old. It's hooked up to natural gas, and honestly, right now I don't have working central air and everything else, hence the fan. But in the wintertime, we don't need it, just due to we got a natural gas burner in the back, one in the front, and the house stays toasty, and it is way cheaper than a furnace, so not too shabby.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. To look into that when I need to buy a house or something.
Yep. Good stuff. And pairing them, if you're able to pair them together. So next year I'm getting a whole house generator. Go ahead and put a new furnace in and everything, and heat pump. And so I'll have electric heat, central air, obviously. But once you pair electric heat and the recirculation with natural gas heat, oh my gosh, it is the best thing you've ever experienced.
The sliced bread?
Oh, I'd almost say it's better than sliced bread.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that I've never heard of that or seen that, especially in the state that I grew up in.
Well, most people only have one or the other, But if you're able to pair the two together, it's a whole new level. It's an amazing experience.
Considering that, for context, the state that I live in gets down to like -60 on like a normal winter day. I'm surprised I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's whenever you just set the house on fire and move to Florida.
Yeah, no, I still don't know why I live there.
You know why?
Like I said, I goes nowhere where the entire downtown sector is connected by fucking overhead tunnels.
Yep, that's definitely Minneapolis.
Toronto is like that too.
Yeah,
At least the downtown area.
I should take a trip up to Toronto sometime.
Okay, let's smash out this one last topic and then have some open discussion.
Support your local ARRL field day this weekend. What is ARRL?
So that was mine as well. ARRL is the Amateur Radio Relay League of America, and
Nice.
they're the volunteer organization that kind of interfaces with the FCC, and I guess I would say it's sort of like, the National Association of Rocketry for Model Rocketry, or what the NRA used to be for firearms owners. Like we help organize things. Anyway, and every year on the fourth weekend in June, they organize a nationwide field day, which is basically all of us amateur radio operators we're supposed to go out and operate remotely to practice, for emergency communication deployments, kind of like what happened in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria, where the island was scoured clean and there was no power, there was no communications, there was no nothing, and Puerto Rico turned to I don't know if they went to the Red Cross or the ARRL directly, and they said, we need at least 50 trained amateur radio operators to help get communications going immediately. And I applied for that and actually was apparently a little bit too late. I was not on the team that went down there. But this weekend, amateur radio clubs around the country are going out into parks and fields and places that are kind of remote, but still people could get there by car so that the general public can attend. And for 24 hours, everybody is trying to make as many contacts on the shortwave bands as possible. So I dropped a link into the chat. If you go there, there's a tool where you can find out where your local club is going to be. And if you feel like you're interested, stop on by and see what they're doing that day. Just wanted to put that one out there as my ham radio PSA for this particular stream.
I mean, the big question, will there be free food?
Here's a list of things that hams like. Number 1, radio. Number 2, eating.
And 3, is it beer?
Yeah, probably. Like the number of conversations I've heard on local repeaters of like, hey, are you going to the swap this weekend? Yeah. You want to go to breakfast afterward at the diner across the street? Sure. Sounds like a plan. Like that's one of the standard conversations you hear.
Nice.
Or they're all figuring out how to like get together and meet up at a restaurant or whatever. Yeah, hams like to eat, so there will be food there.
I'm trying to remember because shout out to I should ping my dad on this because he actually is what he has the certification to be on or to be using ham radios. The one time that I think I was listening to his ham radio while he was using it, I think they were just talking. I think it was during a huge thunderstorm and also a tornado was going on and communications were down and we actually had storm chasers on ham radios broadcasting out what was going on.
That's cool.
Yeah, the what do they call that? Well, the National Weather Service calls them spotters. But yeah, that's another thing that hams do is the storm watch. Usually they're not in a chasing mode. Usually they're going out to like an assigned intersection or coordinate and sending in reports from there. Although I've heard stories of like, there's always that one annoying guy in the club and he's like, I want to chase a tornado. Okay, Bob, go for it.
There's always that one guy.
Well, like he's like we should be like in the movie Twister, and it's like, okay, fine, knock yourself out.
Read about him.
If you insist.
Yeah, go take like a late '80s four-wheel or front-wheel drive car, four-wheel or four-door sedan. Just have at it. Oh, and make sure you have the antenna that goes all the way from the front of the car to the back of the car, so that everybody knows you're chasing the tornado.
Or better yet, the elevated. You get the four corner posts to elevate your horizontal loop, like long wire loop antenna. I've seen this. Yeah, we hams call this the ham sexy because there are some people out there who get really insane with their mobile setups.
No shit. There's one guy that drives out here around me. He probably has about a 60, 70 foot antenna at his house. But his main car that he drives around, oh, good night. It has probably, I'd say 14, 15 different antennas coming off of it, with the longest being what I said, going all the way from the front of the hood of the car all the way to the back of the bumper.
Like, is it mounted on like a flexible like spring mount on like say like the right rear corner and goes up to the left front corner?
Yeah, but he's got 13, 14 other antennas coming off that thing too. I'm like, damn, how many antennas? Like, I thought one antenna that was long enough could probably do it, but he's got 13 to 15 antennas on there.
Well, I understand the thinking here, because like the problem here is that we use the term band to mean two different things. Like, there's the high frequency band or the shortwave band, and then there's VHF, which we consider a band, and UHF. But in between there's actually discrete chunks of spectrum that are also called bands, like 10 meters, 20 meters, 40 meters, 80 meters, 160 meters, etc.
Yeah.
And for each one of those, if you're using a discrete antenna, you need an individual antenna for each band. So if he wants to operate on all the bands while he's driving, don't ask me why he needs to do this, but the thing is according to U.S. federal law, as long as he's licensed, he's legally allowed to do that.
Which I never figured he wasn't allowed to do it. It's just
I'm saying like legally allowed to not just operate on all those bands, but to do so while driving.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well,
so like there was for a while when I lived in Oakland County, Michigan, the city of Troy enacted this ordinance that said if you had anything in your hand, it didn't matter if it was a bottle of water or a tube of lipstick or a burger or what, anything in your hand, a cell phone, it was moving infraction in their city. Wow. And so my friends who are hams and I, all of us ham guys, were deliberately trolling Troy, like operating on our HTs and mobiles as much as possible inside city limits, waiting for them to pull one of us over. Because then we'd just say, officer, we accept the ticket, and go to court and drop down federal law, Title 47 of federal law that governs the FCC, and point out that, any class of amateur radio license in the U.S. authorizes mobile operation by federal law. Since federal law trumps state law and state law trumps local law.
Booyah!
Your Honor, I respectfully submit that you can't cite me for using my ham radio inside the city limits of Troy.
Yeah. So I do have a follow-up question. Mic drop. So with him having crazy amount of antenna on his car, are all those hooked into one singular device, or does he have a separate device for every band that he is listening to?
Well, there are radios that are nicknamed shack-in-a-boxes that could operate on all those bands.
Yeah.
It's very likely that he has, I will just say it this way, with that many, if he has 15 antennas, he's almost certainly has multiple radios mounted in the vehicle. I have a friend out in New Jersey who's a cop and also a hardcore amateur radio operator, and his own personal Ford Explorer was, I guess, an old police Ford Explorer because it has the radio bay in between the two seats rather than like armrest.
Nice.
And he has easily a half dozen radios mounted in that radio. They're all amateur radios, but he monitors pretty much all of the VHF and UHF band allocations to amateurs while he's driving around.
Nice.
You know, and I joked that I've nicknamed his Explorer the Mohawk because he's got all the antennas mounted down the center line of the roof.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks like the car's got a Mohawk a wire.
That actually could look pretty cool. Like this.
Yeah, this is one that looks pretty badass.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen other installations where you're just like, yeah, this isn't working.
Like it. I hear buzzers going off everywhere.
We're all getting the same.
Somebody is building a Twitter list for people.
Oh darn! Am I going to be ostracized again? I mean,
sorry,
no.
you're out.
I don't know if I want to be on it.
Threadzilla.
I ran across a couple of those last night. They weren't involving the hacker community, but like one of them apparently went back to like last October.
Wow. I think that might be the main Threadzilla. I found a couple. I am tagged in a bunch of them because I am bardy enough to just sort of jump into any conversation. And if you don't think I'm a bard, well, I have news.
Are we saying a bard in the sense of like the D&D class, or a bard in the sense that you write iambic pentameter poetry?
In the D&D class, as far as writing poetry, I'm not good at that. I'm good at literary analysis, and like if you give me a bit of prose, I will give you a very, very good tear down of it.
Negative. If we give you
How come
negative.
it's not letting me rename the damn group?
Huh?
What?
Oh, sorry, it's not letting me rename the damn group.
Interesting.
Sorry, continue.
Block lists, all the block lists.
Adrian's in a completely different environment right now.
It's me
Called Twitter.
Hey, along with Charles and his clouds with sunglasses and smiles.
So if Charles has got the clouds with sunglasses and stuff, Adrian's probably the underground levels in Super Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got good news.
What's up?
So I just landed an F-18 in DCS on the first try on a carrier.
Ooh,
All
nice.
right. Nice.
As in, like, that's the first time I tried landing the F-18 in DCS.
So your first landing is a carrier landing.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you gonna?
Please note, all NSA operatives listening to this stream, you might want to draft Owie into the Navy.
Oh no, he's already signing up for what's the new thing? The Space Cadet.
Oh, the Space Force?
Space
Yeah.
Force, motherfucker.
Like, I'm fucking signing up for the Space Force.
Oh, wait.
no,
Wait, that was a real thing?
Yes.
Yes, that's a real thing.
And sadly, Trump doesn't pay attention to the DoD because there's already a branch of service that's got jurisdiction over space.
Well,
Fucking
the Air Force basically glommed onto jurisdiction of it ages ago. Although I will point out, the National Reconnaissance Office operates satellites. NSA operates some satellites. The CIA probably operates some, but they're probably not talking about it. Like, basically everybody's got their own space program if they've got a big budget.
I would also like to point out, because one of my buddies is doing a live stream, well, was whenever we started, and if there's water found in space, the Coast Guard could have rule over it.
Oh, God.
Now, does the water have to be liquid? Does it have to be liquid phase water?
I don't believe so. I think it's just water.
Because we know there's water in the depths of some of the lunar craters at the south pole of the moon.
We'll see. Coast Guard. They
So there's gonna be some godforsaken Coastie who's like, my entire tour of duty is gonna be an Aiken crater. Oh fuck.
Oh my god.
Staring out at the same twilight landscape for 6 months straight.
Yes. Yes.
But the real question is, will he be banging leather goddesses from Demos?
I don't know, Ali. Tell us.
This game. Has anyone heard of this game?
I've heard of that game. That's you're going way back for that. That's like pre-Leisure Suit Larry, if I remember correctly.
I know.
Yeah.
You took it back. Leisure Suit Larry. Yes.
Yeah, somebody just posted Leisure Suit Larry today.
Wow.
The land of the loudest lizards. What was the name that company that made all those games like that? They made that, and they made
Space Quest?
and
Wasn't it Sierra? Sierra Online?
There's
that's a yes.
also that guy that made the Sierra Death Generators. Like he made
Death
something
generators.
where you can type in text and it pops out something from a DOS game, a PS1 game, or an early era NES
Retro.
game.
Yeah.
And now y'all are Googling this.
Oh, I know. It also has the SimCity 2000 advisors as well.
Yes,
Oh,
you will regret this.
Exactly. You can't cut back funding. You will regret this.
Finish him.
Yes.
Every Soul Calibur / Soul Blade game ever.
wait, where are we in the show notes at this point?
We're done.
At this point, we are beyond the show notes. We have transcended the realms of the show notes.
If we had any recommendations for Adam, I like Adam's content. I don't know if you've watched Adam Morgan's content. It's good stuff. If he was an attractive woman, he would have a far greater YouTube following. Yeah,
Don't forget he's got to have a low cut top and big boobs and kind of bend over.
But it's true. I mean,
Hey, he could do that.
Come on now.
If you switch the names, there's this Morgan Adams. That she looks all right.
Oh, wait a second. What the fuck was that? I think it was Queenie or some shit.
Adam's a good-looking guy, but I think even if he took hormones, he wouldn't look as good-looking as Blair White.
Yeah, Blair White.
How does someone like Adam increase his viewership? See, me, I have a huge viewership because I post videos from all the cons, and I've been doing this for like over 10 years, I think. But
How
And you should leverage the fuck out of that, Adrian.
yeah, seriously.
never know how I can do that, but yeah.
No, I know what to tell you. Adrian, you are a superstar, and I'll tell you why. That's what I said. This week has been fun. When I went to work on Monday, as my usual self, I came in.
Not his alter ego.
And we have one of the college guys. We have like the college interns that work with us in the summertime. Just like to learn like vulnerability assessment stuff or whatnot.
Yeah.
So, one of the interns he complimented your site. He said, Charles, do you do have you ever been to Irongeek.com? I said yes for many years, one, and two, I know Irongeek. You're shitting me. You know Irongeek? I'm like,
That seems so weird to me because it's not hard to know me. You just have to go to some conferences and you're me,
But
Yes,
see, this guy, but see,
Yeah, just
This-
me to
this
appreciate.
guy's name is Sean. Sean is 22.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Sean,
What's funny is he's still older than me.
Yeah, Sean.
I just killed Jack.
I'm pretty sure if y'all knew my age, you'd actually be surprised by it, to be honest.
If I recall right from a previous conversation, you were born in 1987, were you not?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
That doesn't mean nothing to me.
Oh, a lot of people are like, wait, what? Evie, you're in your 30s, and I'm like,
Well, how old do they expect you to be?
They expect me to be in my 20s a lot of the time.
Well, I still get told that I look like I'm in my 20s.
Yeah, I get told that all the time.
People think that I can't buy alcohol legally.
Jack, talking to yourself in the mirror doesn't count.
No.
Yeah.
No, like
people tell me I don't look my age, and I guess my energy helps as well too.
Yeah, and
You know what I would do if I were you, Charles?
What?
Next time you see that intern, just tell him to check out the Irongeek cast.
No, I am.
Oh yeah.
No, I am, because he was just like in awe, like seriously, like he was just like, "You're shitting me." I was like, "No, I'm serious." Like and then I logged in my Facebook. I said, "There's Irongeek right there." That's not Irongeek. Yes, it is.
Well, it should have been. You know, Adrian Irongeek does have 2 Facebooks.
Yeah, I have one that's the Irongeek account, and then there's one that's the Adrian Crenshaw account. And the Irongeek,
I showed him the Irongeek.
But yeah, Charles is on my Adrian Crenshaw one also.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to actually post the most obscure, offensive shit on.
Well, with me,
We love it too.
if you guys are on my Facebook, I post like everything, like memes, videos. I don't care. Like I just let it out.
no,
You-
sorry.
you-
Sorry, I have to keep my shit filtered.
You post some funny stuff. Oh my gosh.
Charles, did you see what I tagged you in on Facebook?
Yes.
Care to share for the rest of the class, boys?
Okay.
Howie's already like primed and ready to share this shit.
Howie is ready. But
Okay,
yeah,
let me
on
kill
my
the game real quick and I'll show you.
yeah.
I also find it funny that my bot keeps getting banned for making fun of Elon Musk.
I saw that. I saw you to the Twitter. You said a goal in life being blocked by Elon
So
Musk.
unfortunately, I can't send audio over this, but understand that the audio from this is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and when the helicopters guys are like, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot this guy. Make sure you shoot the right guy this time."
Dude, I was in tears. One of my friends was like, "Yo, you be posting some crazy shit." I said, "I just have fun, man." Yeah, that's too political on here.
One second. I need to pull this up.
I keep it fun and political.
Actually, wait. I can send an actual video to it. I can actually send the video because it's public.
Yeah, certainly.
Also, if you guys think I post anything that's like 100% serious, well, I have news.
Nope.
You hurt my feelings, and I filled out the hurt feelings report.
My hurt report? Oh God.
Oh no! What will I do?
Okay,
Oh,
there's
yes.
the link. There's the link.
Yes.
Oh no! I've been blocked, muted, and reported. Whatever shall I do?
No.
Now, is this temporary or a permanent ban?
Okay, everyone. I sent the video on the side.
I will post this in. Make sure it's the right guy.
I can't. Yo, I was hollering. I know that's my boy though, but man, he messed up bad with this one.
I will post this in the show notes for
Bro.
the audience to take a look at this.
What
If
are
that
we
is
talking about now? Shit.
That's what I sent on the side.
My friend that stole the tank.
Nice.
Because of a mutual follow on Twitter too.
Yeah,
I think there was some questioning about this last year. Actually, I see the links in there, but I'm going to title it "Charles' Friend Who Stole the Tank."
So if you look on the side, somebody asked for Grand Theft Auto they took the picture of him with the tank, and then it says Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and it does the loading screen of the tank, and then it has
I got 5 stars.
Well, I mean,
It
if
was crazy.
If it was 5 stars, the army would be out stopping them.
It was
Should
off
have
the
been.
hook.
Is this that command tank that got stolen a couple weeks back?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
tank. It's a fucking.
APC.
It's built on the M113 chassis, I know, but they call it a command tank.
Yeah.
It's not a tank.
Yeah. My
It's
friend
not a
stole
tank.
it. Yeah, my friend stole it. It was crazy.
Jack, I am
just-
clipping that.
I had
What?
I had just talked to him on that Sunday.
And it's because someone on InfoSec Twitter played Panzer Models and saw him play that.
Oh my god.
My favorite clip of video from the theft of the armored vehicle in question was still when the local sent their MRAP after the M113. Like, you know, you see like the local police cruiser that's like a Crown Vic or whatever in the
Yes, I
lead.
did.
Then there's the stolen armored vehicle. Then there's the police MRAP in there. You know, it's painted black with the white stripe on the side that says police and all like that. And then there's a couple other cop cars, and I was just like, yeah, guys, because you're gonna need that to run this other thing down, right?
When I say, let me tell you something. When I say my inbox got blown up behind that, oh my god. Charles, what's up with your boy? Really, Charles? This is what we're doing?
No. So the guy that stole the vehicle,
Yeah.
he was in the National Guard, correct? Army Reserve.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in the National Guard. Yeah. And then I had just talked to him that Sunday, right? And I was just like, I hit him up online because me and him be on IRC frequently. That's where we usually talk, is on IRC. So in Ethernet. So I was hanging out Ethernet, and he just did an instant message, and I was like, "Oh, good, I see you online. What's going on? How's everything going?" They say, "Yeah, life's a little messed up right now, but I'll be okay." And I say, "Hey, man, if whenever you want to talk, I'm here." He's like, "Okay, cool, man." He said, "How's everything going with you?" And I was like, "Everything's going good." And then he logged off. So
I think I'm gonna go steal a tank.
Yeah, the Tuesday morning. That's Tuesday evening. That's what I see on the news. I'm like, oh shoot.
Just so you
So
know,
you communicated with him over IRC then.
yeah.
Huh?
So you communicated with him over IRC. So you had no idea, like, what, aside from what he was typing, you couldn't tell, like, what his emotional state or his mental state was at that point.
No, he said life was just a little messed up right now. And I said, of course, me with my encouraging self, just saying, like, it'll be okay. If you need to talk, I'm here, And he said, thanks, I appreciate it. He was at DerbyCon last year.
Huh.
Yeah, he said, thanks, I appreciate it, And then that was it. Then he logged off. So I was like, well, maybe he had to go because I know he's in the military. Who knows what, I didn't know what was going on. But
You had to go steal an M113.
or plan it.
I have motor pool Mondays. Fuck.
Motor Pool Monday.
You know what, man? I can't with you. Because just talking to him, I'm like, oh man, I know he was going before all this happened, right? Me and him used to work together at NASA, and real cool dude. He went he went and did the OSCP training, and then he did the OSCE. So he went and got the OSCE out the way. Then he quit NASA. After he got the OSCE, he left. And started his own like pen test. Him and a couple of buddies did some kind of like pen test firm. And at the time, I had already committed to something else. 'Cause I was going to be working with him, but then I had committed somewhere else, which was paying a lot more money too. So I went there. So needless to say, 5 months later, I run into one of his friends that was working with him. I said, "Oh, how's Josh doing?" Tell Josh, what's up? "Oh, we don't work with Josh no more." I said, "What are you talking about?" "Well, Josh, we had to kick Josh out of the company. He went on an engagement and went out of scope and started hacking into all kinds of stuff." Yeah. Nah, he went crazy. Yeah, they had to kick him.
To do that. That's a no.
Yeah. He went out of scope and just went. He was finding all kinds of stuff, but it wasn't in the scope.
Huh.
And he was going on crazy. Yeah, he was going off. And I was like, oh, shoot. He said, yeah, we had to kick him out. We don't know where he's at right now, but they were looking for him. And I asked them, why are y'all looking for him? And he said, well, truth be told, the reason we're looking for him because now all of a sudden our website's down and won't come back up. We're missing data. Like,
Wow.
he pretty much hacked his own company.
Wait, what?
Yeah. He went off the deep end after he got fired or kicked out of the company. Next thing you know, they noticed that the website went down and it never came back up, like their company website. And then they noticed some of the domain controllers in their implementation were acting funny.
Well, that's why you change passwords when you fire somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would think so, but who knows what he's done, and who knows if he's had some kind of backdoor set up too. Who knows?
We do know that he took a M13.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So does that happen? So
And my understanding was he was on Twitter while he was inside the stolen armored vehicle.
He posted the video, and see, everybody was laughing when he said, "I need an enemy wife," and I'm like, "What the hell? What's going on?" And then he took when he said he needed an enemy wife.
I'm, not okay, but I'm also not going to go off the deep end and steal a fucking tank.
You know what? You better
It's
not.
not a tank. It's a troop transport.
Okay, whatever.
Jack, I am seriously
Okay.
clipping
So you need you need to step it up a notch and steal like an F-18.
Okay, for me as a dumb civilian, I call it a tank.
Yeah, as a dumb civilian, it's a tank, okay?
Which is why to smooth over both the military-oriented and civilian-oriented people, I'm just referring it to as the armored vehicle.
Okay, yes, armored vehicle. So they stole the armored vehicle. Yeah, I can't take both. I can't take any more of my friends doing anything crazy. So if anybody's thinking about it tonight, just know that I love you, and please. Don't do it. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh my god. Oh, Allie. Allie, no.
Wait, what?
Wait. Is Allie grounded?
He's grounded. Look at his screen.
Owie.
I think Allie should pop out and pocket.
Allie is on one tonight.
Wait, what did Allie do?
I don't know.
You will see in a minute.
I see loading screen.
Yeah, just look at his screen.
Oh, he's flying his F-18, I bet.
Uh-huh. I'm hijacking an F-18, motherfuckers. I'm stealing off the Stennis.
Now, Allie, I'm telling you right now, don't be that next one on that meme.
It's Firefox in reverse.
Don't be the next one me.
It's Firefox in reverse.
Allie, you are grounded.
I'm not grounded. I'm going to sky. I'm going to space, damn it.
Allie, I already to the corner.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you now. Yeah, it's real, but no, I can't. That was a crazy week, and when I say I got bombarded with videos and memes, you would think I did it. You would have thought I took the armored vehicle for a joyride. The way I was getting bombarded with memes.
It's a good idea, but I don't think it's ever going to have the same impact again.
You know what?
So, Charles, have you been in contact with your friend who stole the armored vehicle?
Not yet. Maybe when they get him situated.
Okay.
Right now, from what I've read on the blogs, that's all I can do right now. He gets sentenced July 11th. Sentencing is July 11th, but this is for the VA charges. It's not even the military police. Military charge. The military is going to take on the charge of him unlawfully unauthorized.
Well,
yes,
according to the UCMJ, guess what? Double jeopardy fucking exists. So whatever time he fucking winds up serving, he's going to get it again too. So
yeah, he is. Yeah. My other friend just told me you will never see Josh again. I'm like, God damn. Like,
Not for the next 20 years, at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he's gonna get life, but 20 years is probably a good bet.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad for him in
I
the
do.
sense of like this is very much a mental illness case, and that's
is.
something that speaks to me.
It
And
is.
I don't think like they should be as harsh on him as they're probably going to be.
I'm hoping not, because like I said, is it crazy? Yes. I mean, not crazy, but is the situation like? Am I still in disbelief? Yeah, but I mean, I just hope. All you can hope is just some type of leniency. Right now, they have him in a psychiatric hospital. I think we're checking his, I guess, to see if he's mentally ill or whatever. So they have him in that like mental, I guess, ill facilitation.
They have him in Hotel California.
All right. Quick thanks out to Red Leg. They'll send me some MRE love.
Ooh.
Getting free MREs.
Yeah, Red Leg is sending me some MREs.
Nice.
Woohoo! Nice.
I'd say nice, but I've actually had to eat them for an extended period of time, considering the fact that I live in Florida, and
They suck.
You know what? For short-term camping, MREs are small and convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're small
Yeah.
and convenient, but when you're on them for 3 months, you kind of
It gets monotonous and boring.
I was gonna say, like, this was during 2004 in the summer of we had 3 hurricanes in 3 months.
Oh my god!
What was that?
That's yeah. Also, that is a thing that actually happened. Was we had 3 hurricanes in 3 months, and it was terrible. And I had to subsist on MREs.
Yeah, I heard from a lady in Texas who seems to hate them. Kate Brew seems to hate the things. The ones she described are not like the ones I've had camping. The ones I've had camping, I mean, the worst MRE I've had was like, meh. It's cool.
You clearly have not ever had the chicken fajitas MRE.
No, that one's terrible.
That one's dog food.
No, the ham slice. That one's fucking terrible.
Oh,
that one is also terrible.
The hams from my friend's dad, who was in the army in the 80s, said that they thought the ham slice was just the best of all of them.
Not the ones that came afterwards, but the ham slice was relegated to getting kicked the fuck off the menu.
Well, I mean, the other ones that have left are the hockey puck, also known as the hamburger patty, and the beef franks, also known as the 5 fingers of death.
Yeah.
There's also the one that's pretty much Chef Boyardee ravioli.
That one I like. That's pretty good.
That one's edible.
No, that one I would take I would rat fuck the the jalapeno cheese spread like gold.
Oh yeah, that's like the best element of all the MRE elements.
So I got a question, and this is again the dumb guy in this conversation. Why did is that kind of like the food that they give in the military when you're out in like war or something?
It's meal ready to eat. It's a field ration, basically.
Okay.
They also FEMA also hands them out in like after a hurricane.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Mm. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've seen the FEMA cases of FEMA MREs at the Army surplus store as well.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize like FEMA hands out like bottles of water and MREs like after these storms, at least in the States, obviously not in Puerto Rico. But
yeah,
like
unfortunately.
Like this is something I went through like in my teenage years, was actually having to go to the South Florida Fairgrounds and pick all of this up.
The MREs have also gotten better over the years, have they not? I've heard like early MREs referred to as meals rejected by Ethiopians or meals rejected by the enemy. That
Meals
kind of shit.
refusing to exit.
The MREs
So-
I've had in the last 10 years have been pretty damn good.
Every MRE, like with the exceptions of the ones I mentioned, and I've personally not had ham slice or the burger patty, or the five fingers of death for that matter. But I had the misfortune of thinking chicken fajitas sounded good, and then I opened that bastard up, and I was like, no, I'm hungry, but not that hungry.
Pleasant surprise.
Other than the chicken fajitas, I can't think of one that. I mean, it's not the best food in the world, but I would eat any of the other ones personally.
It's nutrition. TM.
It's better than dying.
I could easily see where if you were a soldier in a combat zone where you're subsisting on these things for weeks, it's going to get boring real fast. And the other thing to think about is when soldiers are deployed, there are very, very few things in their lives they can legally complain about. The food is one of them. They can't complain about their commanding officer or their orders or, like any of these things could be.
Well, you can complain about it, but you're still gonna fucking do it.
What I'm saying is there's some of those things that would be considered insubordination or, a minor. There would be some kind of punishment for expressing some of those ideas. Whereas if you say the chow sucks, they're like, we'll let that one pass.
Well, I mean,
are constipating if you have them too long.
yes, no.
Yeah, sometimes it depends on how long you have to subsist on them. When I had to, it was more or less like the grocery stores weren't getting deliveries, if you know what I mean.
But then the secret to that is that there's that's a laxative.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got the solution to the problem within the kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that gum though is that wasn't actually planned. That was an accident because they use an artificial sweetener in it, and most artificial sweeteners, my understanding, have a certain laxative effect.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you really hate your ex, send them a 5-pound bag of Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. It'll cost you about $12 on Amazon, but once they get it and eat the entire thing, it will be so worth it.
And the best thing is you didn't tell them to eat it all at once.
Now I have a question for you.
And before everyone is just like, Evie is fucking evil.
No, I'm just asking. Have you done that?
I will not confirm or deny that.
Okay, see, that's why I love you.
I don't know. I mean, if somebody's ever oddly specific, they've probably done it.
Yeah.
Well,
But I like how she handled it.
It's the fact that I know exactly what to tell you to buy on Amazon.
Uh-huh. I believe you.
Yeah. I've thought about having that shipped to Elon Musk, but he doesn't exactly post his address.
Not yet.
Does his girlfriend Grimes post her address? Send it to her, courtesy of him.
Hey, Olsen will take care of that.
Yeah, you can still find it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is his marital status now? There was this woman he was with, then he dated this actress, but the actress, I don't fucking know.
I don't think to my knowledge, he's not married right now. I'm not sure if he's ever been married.
No, he was married. He said he was the alpha in the relationship at the reception, and then he got divorced, and then dated the same girl like 3 or 4 times, and then turned around and started dating like some actress, and now he's dating Grimes, and I'm just sort of like, Elon. And you guys have seen my whole fucking Elon stop posts.
I don't think I actually have.
No, I have not
I
seen.
have my own different opinions that may differ from yours, but I think there's something needs to be done for men to be able to teach men how to choose non-psychotic women.
No. It's not Elon picking psychotic women. It's Elon himself is actually psychotic.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's going, if the relationship is failing 3 and 4 times in a row with the same woman,
It's him.
It's him.
It's also the fact that he said the whole I'm the alpha in this relationship thing.
Yep.
Like, me and you might, get into an internet slap fight about this, but that is pretty creepy.
Not pretty. It's very, very creepy.
Like, that's not even the whole BoJack Horseman quote of when you look at someone with rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags. That is straight up like a glaring red flag here.
Or my favorite version of that I read online recently was, this is a Tiananmen Square of red flags.
Yeah, and like, I have pretty thick skin, and for me to be like, hey, so Elon said this and it's creepy,
that's bad.
Say something.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's kind of weird to announce it, but in various relationship, you can kind of tell who's actually in charge of relationships. Like, I have various former male friends who it's pretty clear that they lost their mind and now they're sharing half a brain with their fiance or wife.
Did you say they're sharing half a brain?
Yes.
The two of them together? Oh, man.
Oh, God.
So he only has a quarter.
And he only gets it on Tuesdays at 8 p.m.
The weird thing to announce, I will admit, but there are definitely relationships where you see one of the partners is definitely more in charge of steering the boat than the other one.
Yes, but
yes, that's the captain.
They also don't announce that at their wedding reception.
Yeah, they don't feel the need to announce that. If you're that person in the relationship, you don't have to declare it. In fact, it's at the very least tacky, or as Evie has said, creepy, to just, put that one on blast in public.
Yeah.
The real question is who's tying up who.
But for real, we know, you know what? But here's the thing: we know. I have some friends, and like I said, like their wives are the dominant one in a relationship. We know this. Will we make an announcement? No. But some guys like it like that. I guess spicy like that. I don't know. I don't personally. But
here's the thing, though.
Would you do it at your wedding reception?
No, I probably wouldn't announce
it.
Way. I wouldn't
dare announce that. I'd be like,
No. You see, what you do is you have
wedding reception.
But what if the wedding reception involves the wife walking, or the bride walking the groom down the
aisle
on a leash?
You know what?
I don't know. Even
you see, I would sit down and have a talk with that dude over a beer before that shit even gets to that level.
Personality, depending on who they're dating, has completely freaking changed. What their belief systems completely changed, and I'm sure it happens to women too. But well, I deal mostly with really nerdy guys. Yeah. And there's a lot of men in my field who are desperate for positive female attention.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, you mean like my buddy who wound up wifing up the first thing that spread her legs?
Oh my God, Jack, I know where you're going. Yeah, that's crazy though, Jack. That's
And then during his second deployment, she cleaned out the bank account and bounced back to Germany. But we won't get into that.
Oh man!
I feel we need more women on the stream to actually, counteract what it is from the opposite side of this issue. But I'm just saying, I've known men to be taken. Let's put it that way. To be
smitten.
Yeah.
That's way beyond smitten.
Yeah.
You need more than
that's
world domination. In world domination. Now that's that fat. That's that fat.
Conversation I have with somebody about how do you balance out a relationship of this amount of control for this person, this amount of control for this person takes care of this domain of domestic lifestyle, this person takes control of this domain left. But,
well, I would say, broadly speaking, open communication channels. I've seen more relationships fail because people aren't talking to one another or aren't actually listening to one another.
Right. And the number one, here's the thing, and I'm going to tell, my wife knows I haven't been normal since college, okay? Like, this is not, so she knows all about it. And in reality, she started out as just my friend, not even dating. We were just friends. We used to hang out together. So, and it just turned into this. So, yeah. So she knows, like, I'm into computers, I'm into, my vices and everything else. And then that's it. But she knows that. And again, I haven't tried it. Some people get in relationships under false pretenses. They're not who they say they really are. Mm-hmm. And then once they get into the relationship, they have the mask comes off. And they have the person thinking one thing. They have the person who's in love with somebody that's not even there. It's just an illusion. And then once they get into it, like you said, the mask comes off, and then that's when their problems happen. But
no, that's where annulment, like in my case, divorce.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's when problems happen in a relationship.
I know they're slightly different.
An annulment is, whoops, this shit never happened.
Yep, we made a mistake.
And we never consummated the marriage.
But you got 30 days.
In my case, it was we consummated, so it's fucking divorce.
Yeah. But but I know in the state of Virginia you got 30 days to annul. But again, it's just one of those things, like in a relationship, if you really you gotta come in, like you said, communication. And for the love of God, sex. That's important. That is, I'm just calling it like it is. You can't go through a sexless relationship. That shit will never work.
Yep.
Sure you can. It works for some people.
You gotta drop your pants and go to work.
I would say so. In my experience,
first of all, are we still live?
Yes,
we are still live.
Do you want to not be live at this point?
No, we don't need to be live. This is it.
I have thoughts about this, but I'm not about to put them on main.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some other shit offline.
Yes.
So, folks, thanks for Irongeek Cast number 74, and I'll catch y'all next week.